night, everyone. Yeah. Good evening / night, everyone, and welcome back to Little Tren, We Have a Voice. My name is Trinity Davis Floyd. I'm 9 years old, and I'm an author of 2 books. I'm an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, actress, model, and a singer. And you can now add a CFO of BU Foundation and a podcaster. And the reason I made this podcast is to show and tell youth that we should not be overlooked, and we should not be overlooked because adults think we are too young to do some things. So I made this podcast to show youth they can do anything they put their mind to. So, but if you're wondering what's behind me, I just figured out that my podcast is the 300th episode.
Woo!
So I'm super duper happy about that. There's a number 300 behind me. So that's why I have all this and stuff. I'm very happy about that. But without further ado, I would like to introduce my co-host, my mentor, and he adopted me as his niece, Mr. Young Sean A. White.
Let the record show, ladies and gentlemen, that the effect that I've been having on this young lady is tremendous. I thought I was good in terms of doing openers and intros, but I see like she's already lapping me already, and which this is super cool right here. As she mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is a very special time because not only is Little Tren, we have a voice. Not only is Transformation Greatness and SBN, the Small Business Network podcast, but this is the 300th episode in which that we have done as a collective. And that's the reason why we are celebrating this so much, because this is a big thing. To tell you guys just a little bit, and then we're going to jump into this thing because it's not about us, it's about our special guest down here. When me and Councilman Dr. James McConnell then came about with this idea some time ago, we had a vision for it. And it's interesting because when we started doing this, a lot of people probably looked at it and was like, oh, this is just a fad or kind of the flavor of the week, if you will. But who would have ever thought? We did, but who would have ever thought that would have reached 300 episodes? So, ladies and gentlemen, do us a favor as you're tuning in from all over the world. If you catch this on the live, put in the hashtag live. Let us know exactly where you're tuning in from. And of course, if you're catching this on a replay, because we get it, it's a Friday evening over here on the East Coast. No excuses. Put in the hashtag replay. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And more importantly, we want to know what were your takeaways and what value you got out of this content. So with that being said, I'll pass it back over to our hostess with the mostest.
I would just like to thank my co-host. Before I welcome the guests, I would like to thank my co-host, my special guest, and the people that are now chiming in. But without further ado, I would like you to help me welcome Mr. Alvin, the owner of Case Seafood, and he is an entrepreneur. He will tell us a little bit about how the other stuff he does. But before we welcome him, how we met was I ended up going to his restaurant, and we started talking. And then he started helping me, like supporting me with my books and stuff. So then, now I go there every 2 weeks. That's my favorite restaurant ever. But let's just welcome Mr. Alvin. Put some hearts in the comments.
Hello, 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 everybody. How are you?
Welcome, 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 my friend.
So, meeting Trinity was a blessing in my life, blessing in disguise. As I was going through my own walk with, with my spiritual journey with, Jesus and God in my life, He blessed me with a connection with little Trinity, which was more than expected. That came into my life. So I was so happy when I got to meet such a young, talented entrepreneur like her. I think it's amazing what she's done in her life. Being an author of two books, which is called Trinity in Stockland. You guys should check it out. I'm pretty sure she'll introduce that later on and show you where you can go buy her books and see what she's all about. And it's pretty cool. So those who don't know me, my name is Alvin Drown. I'm the owner over here at K Seafood. It's a seafood restaurant in East Orange. A little bit about myself. I'm a Korean American. I'm half Korean, half American. I grew up in Queens, New York, in Woodside, actually. Uh, you know, my main background in life, I was a salesman. I did sales my whole life. My first business that I worked for was with Tupperware. And then I got into mortgage banking at the age of 14, around 1996. I was a mortgage banker for a long time in the business till, when we had the stock market. I mean, the mortgage crash in 2008. I've been doing mortgages that whole time. So I got into the restaurant business brand new, not knowing what the restaurant business would be, starting last year in January. So I took over this place right here, this lovely restaurant that you see in East Orange. This restaurant has been established here about 15 years. Next door, we own the fish market. The fish market's been around for 30 years. So, you know, when I took over because it was through family. I always thought, working with family is the best thing to do. So now I'm here at KC Food in East Orange. You can Google us, check us out, look at my full menu. We got seafood boils, we got crab, we got fish fry, we got anything you guys want when it comes to seafood. Just come on down and check us out.
Man, I'm getting hungry. I tell you, just
Yeah,
listening to that menu, man. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, if I'm in the area, I'm definitely going to have to come check you out, player, for sure, man.
thank you.
Thank
Yes, their food is really good.
Mhm.
you. Mhm.
So Trinity, I believe you had a list of questions you wanted to ask me, right?
Yes, I have about 5 questions.
Okay, so
The
let's
first
let's.
one,
Mhm.
you basically did that, so I'm gonna go to the second one. Um, what is your morning routine for the restaurant?
So the morning routine at the restaurant is we get here about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We open up the doors and we get to work right away. We start prepping food. So everything that you see in my store is all hand prepped. It's all fresh. We get fresh whiting from next door, shrimp, scallops, crab sticks, and we start making the batter. We start making batter, we start breading everything. So it takes about 1 to 2 hours of prep time. So that's our first 2 hours in the morning. Also, I work on the seafood boil, the sauce. The sauce, I can't tell you the recipe, it's a secret, but I can guarantee that you guys are gonna love it. It cost me about $60 just to make the recipe, just the sauce alone. So that sauce lasts for about, I would say it would serve around like 50 customers. hmm So that's our morning routine. We open up the shop, we come, we prep for 2 hours. I turn on the menu on the TV, we open up all the burners, make sure everything's getting going, getting frying, getting going, getting hot. So that's pretty much the morning routine here at K Seafood.
Wow, that's a lot to do within 2 hours.
It is.
Mhm. It is.
And I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that in 2 hours.
You would be. You would be surprised what you can accomplish in 2 hours. As long as you put your mind to it, there's nothing you can't do.
1,000%. 1,000%. I got a question for you, Alvin. Before Trinity, you ask me your second question. Alvin, I'm very curious because this is one of the questions I love to ask other entrepreneurs and small business owners. And congratulations, by the way, my friend. I know the level of commitment and dedication and sacrifice on a daily basis to, sustain that. So
Thank you.
congratulations to you.
Thank you.
What were some of your challenges you noticed like in the beginning as you were starting your franchise? What were some of the challenges or pitfalls or some of the hiccups that you noticed when you start to establish your brand and your seafood restaurant chain?
So there was a lot of things because I took over this restaurant. It was running previously before I took it over. So there were a lot of little miscellaneous thing like the workflow with staff. I would have to dedicate, certain things that staff would do. Like one staff member would be in charge of making the batter. The other one would be prepping. The other one would be cleaning. In order. So I would organize everything in order. The second hiccup that I noticed was they were freezing food. So I
Mhm.
got rid of that. We don't freeze any food anymore. We don't keep it overnight. Whatever we sell is what we sell off. Everything's made fresh starting from the morning. So they used to butterfly the shrimp. They used to cut open the shrimp, open it, batter it, fry it, like a lot of it, and used to just put it in the freezer. So when the customer would come, it could be frozen for 2 to 3 days. They would just throw it in the deep fryer, fry it, and serve it to the customer. So I got rid of all that. I got rid of freezing food. Everything's fresh. So we just do everything in the morning. We just give people good quality food, you know. Um,
Absolutely.
a lot of hiccups that we also had was we had we were being charged like ridiculous rates on the merchant services. So I did my due diligence and went through all merchant companies and found a company called Blue, that had really low rates. So I got that done with the machines, got everything working, customer workflow, and also relationship wise. We closed for a month doing the renovation. So when we did the renovation, everybody saw the doors closed. They thought we were closed for good, for good.
Ooh.
So I did my best relating to the community, getting friendly with everyone, showing them that there's a new, sheriff in town, right? New
Right, right,
face, and
right.
a friendly face, somebody who's family oriented and actually cares for the customers. I care for my customers. I love everybody that comes through this door, through this door to my store. So, I try my best to relate to everybody on a personal level. At the same time, it is business, but I like to relate to people because I care about people. I love people. I love the East Orange community, and I try to connect with everyone as best as possible so that they can spread my business through word of mouth. It's free advertising, right?
Absolutely.
So without a
Absolutely.
relationship with your customers, you're losing out. You need to get personal with them a little bit, and yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent information. Trinity, before you go ahead and ask your second question, I just want to acknowledge those that's in the attendance. We have here Councilman Dr. James McConnell is in the house. We have here Miss
Wow.
Francesca Nunez in the house, the celebrity. We have here someone you're very familiar with, Trinity. Her name is Felicia, last name Floyd. I believe she's your auntie. Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. And yes, and everybody's just commenting. We also have Denise Ramsey in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. And for those that's just tuning in, once again, we're here with Trinity, aka Lil Trent. We have a voice, along with Transformation Greatness and SBN, the Small Business Network podcast. This is episode 300, family, and we have here an entrepreneur extraordinaire and Mr. Alvin K. Seafood Restaurant, which is out in East Orange, New Jersey. So, Trinity, you can take it back away.
I have a surprise.
Ooh,
Price.
300.
300. 300. Episode
300, that's right.
300.
300, guys. 300. 300.
Yeah, baby.
That is cool. That is cool. That is cool.
I have
That's
bubble
super cool.
fingers.
That is super cool.
Okay, we can continue now. The fun is over. Okay. Oh, there's still bubbles on my table. Oh my gosh. Okay. The third question is, I'm confused, Mother.
Second question.
What's the
Give me the
first
second question.
the third, because he already
Third.
answered my first one without me asking it. So
I'm sorry. You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
What do you like and dislike about being an entrepreneur, and what is the most popular item on your menu at the restaurant?
Okay. So what I like about being an entrepreneur is you get to have your own business. You're not working for somebody, right? Number two, you get to be meeting everybody, networking with as many people in your life. That's exactly how I met you, Trinity, right? Right?
Yeah.
That was a blessing in disguise, right? So I like the work and dedication that it takes to become an entrepreneur. My dislike of not entrepreneur, but owning a restaurant is that in the beginning, when you have a restaurant, everyone thinks it's all glamorous. You make so much money. You have your own business. You can do what you want. That's not true. The restaurant actually owns you. You don't actually own the restaurant. You're here 6 days a week, morning to close. Time away from the family. That's just one dislike that I have. But my vision for the future is to actually get K Seafood so busy and popular where I can hire more staff and eventually let it be self-running. So that's my vision with K Seafood.
Hire me.
All right.
Hire me.
I will. You're gonna be already making millions of money. Watch.
Yes. Quick announcement. Um. Um. You missed somebody. Oh gosh, from the thing. Corinne Camille Robertson, aka my cousin. Hi.
Welcome.
Oh, and Lady Ira.
And Trinity, I want to say I'm so blessed that this is the 300th episode. That's so amazing.
Okay, bonus question.
Okay.
From me. I made this up.
Oh, I forgot to answer one thing. What's our main hot item? The menu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the menu, yeah.
So what our main hot item
You threw a bubble at me.
is the steamed salmon and jumbo shrimp. That gets ordered a lot. Steamed salmon and jumbo shrimp when it comes to the steamed food. When it comes to the fried food, I recommend we have a menu item called F2. F2 has a little bit of everything. It has whiting, crab sticks, scallops, shrimp, and French fries. So when it comes to the fried food, F2. But what's really delicious here that people don't know about is the seafood boil, right, Trinity? You've had it many times. The seafood boil here, you guys just have to come and try it. I'll let you be the judge of that.
It's delicious.
Thank you.
I'm probably gonna come tomorrow.
All right. Come.
Oh yeah, I forgot my bonus question, Mama. What, if you had to, what desserts do you fry?
If I had to have desserts, right now, currently, we don't really have desserts. However, I do know how to cook some really good desserts. Do you remember when I cooked you the fried ice cream?
Yeah, me and croissant.
Right? And it's like a 5-minute thing to do, right? So I would do fried ice cream, maybe some cakes, maybe some banana pudding, um, things like that. But right now, where I'm still like new and fresh to the business, even though I've been here um, for a little while now. I've been working out the little kinks in the store, but just to get customer flowing smoothly is what we want. So we need everybody to help us spread the word that K Seafood is here. And, this is the only place you want to eat when it comes to your home cooked meals because we do home cooked meals over here. We're not a fast food chain, so we're an actual restaurant. All right?
Well, that was the best bonus question I've had, but time to move on to question number basically 5 because my bonus question. What are some of the challenges of owning a restaurant and how often do your license have to be renewed?
So the challenges when you open a restaurant, number one, construction. You have to get all your permits and licenses in order. So what I mean by that is everything has to live up to code. You have the fire department, you have the health department, you have the building inspector, you have a guy who inspects the sign, you have electrical inspector, you have a plumbing inspector. It's a whole bunch of things that you have to get done and do it the right way. Don't cheap out and don't try to cut corners. Make sure everything is done the right way, clean, built properly, proper equipment, proper fuses, proper everything for when you start because that's the hardest part because these inspectors that come here, they're by the book. They don't play around. They look at everything, they go thoroughly making sure that you live up to code and standard. And the license renews once every year. You have to renew it every year. So
Okay,
on the side note, I must have went to City Hall back and forth like a million times just to make sure this restaurant was running right. Yeah.
I have a question for the comments and for Uncle Sean. Does the comments have any questions? And if they do, Uncle Sean, can you read them?
Yeah, that's what I'm actually looking at right now. And it looks like here, based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like Francesca has a question for you, Alvin.
All right.
Once you are established, would you open another restaurant?
The answer is yes. If I could franchise this restaurant, yes, but on a smaller scale. Like this, you have to understand, we've been a staple in East Orange. We've been here for 15 years, so I have a lot of items on the menu. But if I were to really franchise this restaurant and branch it off into multiple restaurants, I would simplify the menu. Maybe have like a 5-item menu. Yeah. That way I can open up smaller stores. Less. It would cost a lot less to open than having this big elephant that I'm using right now. So that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. And Alvin, I want to ask you another question. It looks like here, let me go ahead and pull this back up. It looks like Robert, I'm sorry, Dad, Anthony Floyd had a question. Do you make fried chicken, hamburgers, and hot dogs at your
Okay.
restaurant?
Okay. So that's actually a really good question. So yes, we do the fried chicken, but I don't do fried chicken like the whole chicken wing. We just do like the small wingdings. So I have fried chicken with French fries. I have fried chicken nuggets with French fries. The chicken nuggets are similar to what you get at McDonald's, and fried chicken tenders and French fries. As for hamburgers, yes, we have a New York style hamburger which is called the chopped cheese that nobody knows about. So what it is, it's basically a chopped up cheeseburger on a hero. So like Philly has a Philly cheesesteak, New Jersey has a steak and take, and New York has a chopped cheese. So I sell the chopped cheese here, yes. So we have hamburgers, but no hot dogs. I don't have hot dogs yet. because in this area, a lot of people don't like to eat beef and pork, so I try to stick with just seafood here.
Excellent, excellent. And we have a couple more questions here. One from Daniel Tobe. This is for you, Alvin. What have you endured? Ooh, this is a good question too. What have you endured as a Korean American?
That's a crazy question, to be honest. Okay, so as a Korean American, growing up in Queens, I really felt like I didn't have like a place that where I fit in. Because I grew up looking like I'm Spanish or white, right? Spanish, pretty much, is what everybody says. And at heart, I was fully Korean. My mother was a single mother who raised me. I'm really Korean by nature. I eat Korean food. I'm very Korean. Yeah, so that was a lot of like a hardship that I had to endure as a Korean American. But I was very proud of Korea. I loved Korea. Korea was everything to me, growing up. So, yeah, I guess I would say what I had to endure as a Korean American was to try to find my place where I actually fit in all the time. But it made me grow up to be such a person that related to everybody. So no matter what background and culture you were, because I'm mixed, I felt like I can connect with everyone. So that's what it is. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Great answer, by the way. Appreciate that. Kyron has a question. It looks like for Trinity. Um, Trinity, Kyron asks if you ever make enough money,
Corinne.
would you? I'm sorry.
Corinne.
Oh, Corinne, I'm sorry. Uh, sh- she asked if you ever make enough money, would you open up a shop next to the seafood place?
Yes. Automatic. Yes.
There you go. Excellent. It looks like so far, it looks like no other questions are stemming. So we're at the 27-minute mark and 22 seconds. Alvin, I appreciate so much for you coming on and really letting us know more so of who you are and what you do. I believe as far as you're doing fantastic work and keep it up. I mean, we definitely love to have minority small business owners, and especially on this show because it's all based upon showing people on what's possible, right? I think sometimes, and you could probably agree with this as well, you'll have people that have dreams, they have goals, they have ideas, and they're like, man, I would love to do that, but I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I don't know this connection, or I'm from a different country, or I don't speak the language, whatever the case may be. And so I want to ask you, Alvin, if there were someone that wanted to get into the seafood restaurant business. I want to be a small business owner, but they feel like there's so many limitations that they have for whatever the reason. What would be your best advice that you can give to him or her that's looking to even establish, if that's truly their goals or dreams?
Right.
What would you say to that?
So as long as you're happy, knowing that what you're gonna do is gonna make you happy, just go for it. Number one, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't try to do it all on your own. They say five is better than one, right? So don't be afraid to do it on your own. But the biggest thing I can tell you guys is to take action. Don't keep dreaming about it. Don't keep thinking about it. Just take action. As long as you take just a tiny step forward, just keep moving forward no matter what you do. So if you want to open up a business, think about what kind of business you want to open. How much is it going to cost you? What location is available for you? Is your credit good enough to rent a place? If not, who can I bring in to help me? You have to brainstorm the ideas. And number one rule, you need to take action. Don't just sit and wait because time will keep going without you and you need to be on that train. You need to just keep going forward. So that's the thing. Don't sit at home. Don't think about it. Just start doing. And then even if you mess up, you'll learn to fix it along the way.
1,000%. Trini, I'm sorry, madam. You had a question?
Not anymore because you actually asked the question I was gonna ask about the
Oh,
advice.
oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I do think I have another bonus question.
Sure.
If you if you had to, would you work at the seafood market next door from you?
If I had to, yes. I would work anywhere. Would I be happy doing it? Maybe not. But yeah, if I had to, of course. The seafood market next door is actually my wife's side of the family that runs that. So of course, if anything were to happen to them, I would do my best to be there. Yes, and I would work it. I have a bonus question for you, Trinity. When you first met me, what did you think? What did you think of me as a person?
Kind, loving, and considerate.
Thank you. So, how I thought of you as a person was I felt like you are such a blessing. Your light is shining radiantly all over you when I first met you. And you were the sweetest little girl, and you looked like you could be my little daughter. You know that we look alike. So I fell in love with you, Trinity, when I first met you. And I'm so thankful that you brought me on this show. And I'm so thankful that I can be on the 300th episode. And, I just want to let everybody know that I walk a godly life. So does Trinity. And, it's very important to keep God close to your hearts. All right? Jesus close to your hearts. And that's who makes everything happen.
Likewise, and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Well,
I
that's
do.
all.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I do have a question for Alvin.
All right.
My friend, how can others get a hold of you if they want to learn more about your restaurant, your menu, what's going to be like new, I guess, coming up in as far as like with different places or different um,
Okay.
menus,
So,
rather. Yeah.
so there's two things you can do. You can go on Google and just type in the letter K seafood. You see it under my name, K Seafood East Orange. Just type on Google K Seafood East Orange. You can see my full menu there on Google. However, we also have an Instagram, which is K underscore seafood underscore restaurant. Very simple. K Seafood Restaurant with underscores. So you can add me on Instagram. Little secret, I have some secret menu items that I post. So if you catch me and you like something on Instagram that you saw, just ask me to cook it. I'll cook it for you.
Excellent. I'm definitely going to make sure that I send you a follow for sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Training.
Bubbles.
Well, that's all for tonight. But before we go, I would like to say thank you to my guest, my co-host, and the people who chimed in.
Thank you
And
so
also,
much.
and also, if you have some youth or children you would like me to interview, you could contact my mom. She's known as Latanya Davis. So if you ever see Latanya Davis on Facebook, just know that's my mom.
And also, too, guys, before we go ahead and close, I just want to emphasize once again, this is the 300th episode in which that we're doing here with Little Trend. We have a voice along with Transformation Greatness, which is my brand, and SBN, the Small Business Network podcast. This is truly amazing and such an honor and a privilege to actually have gotten to this point. So, once again, to all of those that have contributed, there's so many people. Not only that have been guests, but also that have been co-hosts that have given value to really buying into the vision and sharing their brand and their message and their story. It has been absolutely incredible, and I couldn't have asked for anything better, honestly. And to tell you the truth, this is just the beginning because we're just getting started. Just getting started. So This is going to go to another level, and we're looking to feature more individuals, more people that have a story, a message, a brand, and the opportunities is there. Only thing you have to do is just raise your hand and say, yes, I am willing. That is the only requirement to be a guest on this podcast. So if that sounds like you, or if you know someone, by all means, please feel free to reach out to myself, also to um, I'm about to say Trinity, but to her mom, Latanya Davis, we are looking for a variety of people, not only adults, but also children as well that have special gifts, talents, a story, a brand, something in which is very unique, in which they're passionate about, and they will love to come on and discuss that. This is the platform for you, and we would love to have you on once again. So, with that being said, I'm gonna pass it back to Trinity to go ahead and close us out.
Well, good night, heartbeats, and never give up.
Good night. Bye.